to my YouTube channel. It's Miss Wasabi. Please, before we even get into what the video is about, can you please like, share, comment, and subscribe? Most importantly, can you please subscribe? Get your friends to get their friends to subscribe to my channel, guys, because I entertain y'all. So today, as I had promised, I'm gonna make a video about off-campus residentials for UWC and on-campus residentials for UWC. And this is just about experience. I'm not plugging y'all. This is just about my personal experience. Ne? So, as y'all know, this will be my second year. So last year, the first semester I was off campus. Then the second semester I was on campus. And there are a lot of reasons that made me move from one place to another. Actually moved to how many places? 3 places in 1 year. 3 places in 1 year. Make it make sense. Yeah, now let's get into it. So first thing I'm gonna talk about was this other residential in Gales River. Worst experience. I wouldn't recommend. As the worst. Like, it makes me cringe till this day. But it's just something else. Okay, let me just talk about what happened. So as a first year student, you actually take anything that they give to you. You don't have a lot of people advising you on what to do and what not to do. And by the time I had received my acceptance letter, it was very late for me to say I can get anything. I had options with regards to residential. So anything I got, bro, I took it. So this is what happened. 2022 January, I think the last week of Jan, I received my acceptance letter. And my former best friend had already received her acceptance letter in 2021. So she already secured a place for herself, and I was like, girl, this is my situation. Can you please talk to your landlord and ask if there's still space available? Yada. Then she was like, yeah, cool. She spoke to the landlord, and the landlord was like, yeah, it's fine. You guys can actually share a room. I have no problem with that. You guys need to just pay the deposit, and then you can move in. Nice shop. And I'm like, okay, I got accommodation. And people were like, do you trust it? And I was like, yes, I trust it. Actually, I like to thank my best friend. Hey. I was like, yeah, I trust the place. I was like, yeah. Well, it didn't seem sketchy as much as people were saying it looks dodgy, but to me it wasn't. It was just like any other place. Like, I've seen the worst. And when I say the worst, I mean the worst. So I was like, nah, I like this place. It's nice. And I'm going. Plus, the deposit fee wasn't that expensive. I was like, you know what? I am going. I'm going to pay and I'm leaving. Sharp. When I got there, the place was still under construction. I know. The place was still under construction. It was not yet done. But anyways, we arrived there like 2 weeks before even, classes commenced, So I was like, maybe, what, she has her things sorted out. So, yeah, let's just give it time. A very sweet lady at the beginning. Very sweet. She sometimes cook for us. Imagine your landlord cooking for you. I guess she cooked for us. Not that the food was nice, but it's the effort that counts. Yeah, it's the effort that counts. And then 2 weeks later, people were starting to move in. And then once she said our room was done, guys, when I tell you that room, that room was just something else. They got a mortuary or something. I didn't feel safe in that room. It wasn't okay. Oh my goodness, it was just something else. Cool. And then I was like, you know what? Um, yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. At least I have, a bed and I have a place to. The beds. Let me just talk about the beds. Guys, yoga mat. A yoga mat. It was a yoga mat. I was sleeping on yoga mats. Yoga mats. Imagine. But I was like, hey, at least, I have a shelter. I have a shelter. I was like, you know what? Yeah, it is what it is. And then when people were just moving in after us, I realized that there's actually two showers and one toilet and two basins. Ne? And then with that, we have to share the bathroom. As boys and girls, we have to share the bathroom. So 23 people were sharing a bathroom. Make it make sense. And 23 people were sharing one toilet. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because it wasn't adding up to me. Yeah. I lost this. And then after that, we had settled in. So I was supposed to share with two people, and I was paying 4 point something for rent, excluding water and electricity. So every month we still have to pay the water bill and the electricity bill. So I was paying 4.2 for a bed. For a yoga mat, I was paying 4.2 for a yoga mat. But hey, it was what it was. Actually, it wasn't what I applied for. It wasn't what I signed up to. Then there were actually rules we had to abide to. One of the rules was we had a curfew, so if you're outside by 11, don't come back, because you'll be disturbing people who are sleeping when you come back at 12 or 11. I was like, okay, yeah. Basically, I signed up for another parent in Cape Town. But then, that's not the worst. So when Usisi said in the contract, we're going to have a shuttle, because the school was actually, no, the place was actually 7 kilometers away from school. Okay? So we're going to use a shuttle. When we got there was no shuttle. Tabang, at that time I already signed the contract. Rule number 1, do not sign a contract before you see what's happening exactly. Because even if they force you to sign anything, don't do it. Just wait to see everything that has been said in the contract. It's there. It's physically there, and you're signing up to something that you've already seen. Seen. So that was my first mistake. I signed up for something that I wasn't even sure what it did. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, yeah, that was my biggest mistake. Signing the contract before seeing the place, knowing what's happening, having other options. Because when you get there, you'll meet people who tell you, no, there's a better place somewhere else. No, there's a better place somewhere else. And that was that. I didn't wait for that. So I already signed the contract. Child. And then I paid the rent. And I signed the thingy. I signed the contract. And then there was no shuttle, so we had to Uber to school. And that was like, I think 50 rands to go to school. So actually $100 a day. It wasn't making sense to me because I'm a student and I'm gonna pay 100 every day to go to school, and that in a month is just a lot. What am I gonna buy my groceries with? What am I gonna sustain the data that I actually don't have with, because the Wi-Fi was just something else. Yo, sissy. Yeah. And then she was starting to be rude. You're not allowed, like, the people, okay, let me say, as a first year, when you meet people who are doing the same course as you, who are seniors, you'd like to get information from them and want them to tell you what's going on with your course and what to expect and what not to expect. Or Sissy, when she found us talking to the guys there, no, this cannot be happening. Everybody to their rooms. No boys are allowed into girls' rooms. No girls are allowed into boys' rooms. And you're not even allowed to have visitors. See? I'm not allowed to have visitors. Oh my god. It wasn't adding up to me. It wasn't making sense. It was not making sense. I was like, what? We are not allowed to have visitors. Manjamina. Yeah, Jola. What am I gonna do? You're not allowed to have visitors. And that was that. I really didn't like the place. That was probably the worst place I had ever been to. It was the worst. Far from everything. Like, we had to travel in order to get groceries. Imagine, she said to us the closest mall is Tiger Valley. And then we had to go to Tiger Valley Mall all the time. You wanted to buy something, go to Tiger Valley Mall, go to Tiger Valley. And it was far. It was very far. I regret not reading the terms and conditions, not getting to see the place and signing the contract first night after moving in. I signed the contract. Okay, so we decided that we're gonna move to another residential, which was the prettiest. You know what? It was giving apartment vibes. It was giving those type of vibes. It was so nice, chilled. We had a balcony. It was close to everything. I could access anything anytime. It was nice, student life, you meeting other students, and you're like, it's just a lot of people on the building. It was so nice. I don't want to lie. Except the things, when you move into a new place and you tend to be a threat, that was the vibes. But then, other than that, for me, I had a good time there. I had a good time, met good people. I was going out. Like, you know what? I would actually go back. I don't mind. I would actually go back. Now, the thing is, I'm going to get stabbed. One thing about the girls there, they will stab you. They will stab you. So, yeah, it was nice. However, I feel like when you get to stay off campus, you get more tempted to do things that aren't really things you're supposed to be doing as a student. You feel like there's no discipline, number one. So you literally drink alcohol every day. For example, you'll smoke every day because nobody's going to tell you what to do. You can choose not to wash your dishes for like 10 days and nobody's going to tell you to wash your dishes. You can bring as many people as you want and nobody's going to tell you anything, Like, it was just something else. But it was nice. It was just, it was nice. But we had to move because there was an incident. This is from my perspective and how I experienced the whole thing. There was an incident where one of the girls on the building got and one of the girls got raped by the landlord. I don't know if I should call it a landlord, but that was the incident. Apparently, allegedly, one of the girls got raped by the landlord, and yeah, I didn't feel safe. So I actually moved out the following day after the whole thingy happened. I moved out, and that's how I got to stay on campus. It's a blessing in disguise, I know. Got to stay on campus. Now, what's nice about being on campus? Child, it'll be 2 a.m. and I'll be out and about on campus. I'll be, taking walks. I met a lot of people. It was so nice. Like, one thing about being on campus, you can access every facility on campus at any time. Like, you don't have to set a time. Now today I'm going to take a shuttle to school so that I can access the library. No, you can actually go, whether it's 11 in the 11, it's midnight, it's 8 in the morning, you can go. You can go. There's nothing stopping you. And plus, you don't have to dress up all the time because technically you stay there. It was nice. Security galore. There was electricity 24/7. No load shedding. Okay, good. Well, I hear people talking about load shedding, but where I stay, child, can't relate. I cannot relate. So that was it. I actually enjoyed being on campus more than off campus. However, these are gonna be the pros and cons for staying on campus. Um, okay, what's nice is like you can access every facility on campus at any time. Number two, there's no load shedding. Number three, there's always Wi-Fi. Number four, there's high security. Like, yeah, that is that. But the cons for where I stayed, particularly the residential that I stayed at, you don't have everything there. You didn't have, okay, we didn't have fridges. You had to buy your own fridge, you had to buy your own microwave, you had to wait for people because like it's just a lot of people, and then there's probably one stove working and there's probably like 40 people using the same stove, so you have to wait for people to finish, and it's just a lot. And then what else? Oh, some people will be making noise, and yeah, it's only, you know, small things, just minor things, but it's nothing to be worried about. You always find a way to get your things done. Then the off-campus residentials, the pros and cons are, okay, the pros, um it's nicer, it's nicer, there's more freedom, um there's more freedom. You get to access everything off campus. Like you'll be close to shops, you'll be close to, you know, you're actually living with normal people, not only students. You're just living with everybody, and it's nice. There's a variety of people around you. But the cons: security, load shedding, it's expensive, probably even far from school. Like there's a lot. And with my experience, I'd recommend on-campus residential for first years of undergraduates, on-campus residential. Then when you are post-grad, maybe, yeah, you want to be, you know, some way, get yourself an apartment. I mean, you'll be grown enough to, you know, yeah, know what's happening with your life, know how to manage and maintain yourself. Yeah, get yourself off, because like a bora lihlezi on campus umuntu omdala uzohlala nabantwana, and then next thing you want to play the father role to everybody. It doesn't work like that, my bro. You cannot do that. Or you want to be a mother, you cannot mother us. Nah, no, please. So once you feel like, imagine you reaching that stage where when you see kids dancing, you're like, no, don't do that. No, move out. Find yourself a place where you'll be alone, you know, nobody who's going to disturb you. It's gonna be nice, trust me, it's gonna be nice, you're gonna love it. And also I wanted to touch on how to avoid being scammed. So first thing, after getting your thingy, finding any accommodation off campus, make sure it is accredited by the school. Don't just go to any other place in just because when you see it nice, and yeah, the pictures might be deceiving, but don't go there. Make sure it is accredited by the school. By accredited, I mean the school approves it to be an off-campus student accommodation. So make sure that it is approved by the school. Number two, when you get to see a picture on the internet, most of the time the picture doesn't match the room. So you get maybe a room that looks like this one on picture, but when you get there, it's just something else, you know. So go there, check the place, make sure you like it, make sure you get to talk to people, maybe you've stayed there before, and yeah, check ukuthi their experience in journey before you move in. Number three, make sure that you and your landlord, like, you agree, you read the contract, you make sure there's no clause missing, you make sure you know what you're signing for. And if by any case you feel like any nothing if you feel by any case Uguti, what you had signed for is not delivered, you have every right to terminate the contract. Go to the rest life at school, explain the situation to them and why you want to terminate the contract. And you are not they will be liable to pay you the rent for everything that they had promised to you. So make sure you do that. Number 3, make sure you don't pay the deposit before seeing the place. And number 3, okay, whatever number is that, make sure you don't pay the deposit before seeing the place, because you really want to know what you're signing up for and what you're paying for. Sometimes you can pay for something online only to find out, no, it's a saloon day, there's no student accommodation, this person just took pictures on the internet and uploaded them on their website and they just said it's a student accommodation, and that will be sad. So avoid doing that at all costs. And then also what am I forgetting? Do not rush to get accommodation, because you'll make hasty decisions, ne? So take your time, compare these places, make sure you like the place that you're gonna stay at. Make sure the decision that you're gonna make will sustain you for the rest of the year. It's gonna be a good one. That's what I'm trying to say. If the landlord is forcing you or putting pressure on you to pay, don't do it. Don't do it, because they're trying to get people to pay for a deposit or pay the rent, only to find out the place is not even, student friendly. The place is not even nice. It has like the worst living conditions. So please, if it starts to feel like your potential landlord is putting pressure on you, don't do it. Don't. It's not safe. Rather go to school, they'll make a plan for you. Go to Rest Life, tell them your situation. And if you come from you're a very far away from school, if you come from Johannesburg to Cape Town, for example, make sure before you even get to Cape Town, at least, guys, book a hotel, so that even an Airbnb, so that at least one day you're gonna spend looking at these places you had chosen on the internet, and then by the time you go there, you'll just check the places and you'll decide when you get to see the places. Don't rush to move in. Do not rush to sign anything. And also, I would advise you to join the the university group chats on Facebook, on Telegram, on Insta. Follow the pages, get something so that other students will advise you, on what to do and what not to do. And there'll be stories, man, about the experiences, and you get to decide where and where not to go. And that's it from me. I hope you got to like my video, guys. I hope you got to learn something today. It was quite an educational video. I hope you got to learn a few things. And please, if you know anybody who's in need of such information, can you please just let them know? Share the video. And that's it. That's it for me. Please don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe, please. Bye.